Welcome here today, folks, to the AAA 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. We are second race in the round of 8 in the playoffs. It should be a good one. Last night at Martinsville, we unfortunately DNF'd and finished 37th. For those of you that watched that race last night, you didn't have to wait long to see the next race today on the season at Texas. Again, should be a good one. By the way, finishing results, Denny Hamlin had gotten the win at Texas last night. At Martinsville last night. So therefore, Denny Hamlin is locked into the championship race at Homestead. He's the first of 4 drivers locked in. So we'll hopefully try to go for the win here today in this 500-miler at Texas. It's the final 500-mile race of the season. So let's get on with it. On to qualifying. Running the DEX car here today. Came off of a 36th place finish, so we only got 1 point for our finish. But the good news is we were able to win the first 2 stages of the race, so we got 20 points there. So finished with 21 points on the day. Could have been a lot worse, finishing 36 with that DNF if it would have been earlier in the race, and we wouldn't have gotten any stage points, but we were able to win not 1 but 2 stages in the race yesterday, so that definitely helped us out. We're still quite a ways above the cut line coming into this one, but we are not locked in on points by any means. We actually have a chance to lock ourselves in on points today, depending on how things go. We'll just have to see. .710, that is 15th fastest in qualifying to start things off today. So here we go. We did hit 150 subscribers during the race last night, so thanks for everybody for enjoying the content as usual. Landon Castle qualified 14th. That's pretty good for StarCom. Denny Hamlin, after winning last night at Martinsville, already locked into the championship, looking for more momentum as he qualifies on the pole for the race at Texas today. This should be a fun one. 500 miles, 334 laps, so let's get into it. The AAA 500 at Texas. Will Hamlin maybe even be able to go back-to-back? We are looking for our win to advance ourselves into the next round. Go to Phoenix in the next race. We did win there earlier this season, but Phoenix, not one of our better racetracks, so it'd be nice if we can get that win out of the way here today at Texas. Second to last mile and a half on the year, and here we go. The green flag will drop at Texas Motor Speedway. We are underway here this morning for the AAA 500. Five in the second stage. And that'll make for a final stage of 173 laps. Denny Hamlin looking like he's going to lead the opening lap of the race already here. We had a pretty good start ourselves. Already gaining spots. Look at that, 3 wide through the quad oval. At the stripe on Alex Bowman, Daniel Hemrick. And now Kurt Busch going for the lead already. Kurt was looking good to make it to this round of 8 in the last race at Kansas, and then he ended up having a DNF himself, finished back in 39th, and he unfortunately missed this round because of it. He could have finished the race. He likely would have made it. Already to the inside of Brad Keselowski now. Not sure how Bowman got that far in front of us, and now Hamlin's dropping back through the field. The pole sitter who led lap 1 has fallen all the way back to 7th now. But good news for Denny, he's already in the championship race in Miami. Already 4 people watching here this morning. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in the opening laps of the AAA 500. Oh, Harvick gave us a nice little shove going into the corner, but that didn't help us at all. Got us a little loose, in fact. But we're able to keep the car to the inside of the 11 of Hamlin, no problem. Despite the contact from behind from Harvick, Alex Bowman has just driven up through the field, going for the top 5 on Joey Logano up ahead now. When Bowman started right around us, he is flying. He might have one of the faster cars today. And of course, Alex Bowman on the outside of the cut line looking in coming into today's race. We try to hold off Kevin Harvick. Harvick with the DNF in the last race as well. He ended up finishing back in 38th, so he's quite a few points below the cut line. Harvick's going to have a good couple days here at Texas and Phoenix, if not try to win these two tracks he normally performs well at. And look at Reddick, took it 3 wide on the outside and 3 and 4 behind us. Not only got those spots, now he stays to the outside, looking on us for the 7th position. Can't clear him, and here comes Chase Elliott on the bottom, getting split 3 wide down the back straightaway. We'll contact with Elliott, so we kind of wash up the track a little bit. Now Keselowski's going to get under us. We are using the controller here in this race today, but we will use the steering wheel for the final 2 races of this season when the time comes on Saturday and Sunday. Don't want to have to go into Phoenix, not locked in with a spot for the title yet. Very important that we get the win here today. Going to clear Keselowski down the front stretch, now looking back to the inside of Harvick once again. Pretty solid drive off, still side by side for 9th. Rolling into turn number 3. Blaney back up to 9th now. Kurt Busch still leading laps, but he's got a huge pack of cars right behind him. Harvick gonna get under us again. We got a little loose off of turn 4, but Harvick just got a really solid run through 3 and 4 that time. It seems like we're a little better in 1 and 2 than what we are in 3 and 4, speed-wise. Try to stay on the outside of Harvick. He pulls up and clears us, and now another crossover. A great battle with the 4 car for 9th in the early going of this race. And now Alex Bowman in the lead. Didn't take long, despite qualifying outside the top 10. As we clear Harvick off of turn 4 again. Harvick still trying to get there. Contact now as we try to clear him at the start-finish line. Didn't have him cleared when we pulled up in front of him, but minimal contact. Car stays straight. He did hit us going off into turn 1 a little earlier though, so I guess it was all right to do that. As long as there was no accident, and there wasn't. But Alex Bowman leading here at Texas. He's got a good solid run going for him right now. And obviously a win would clinch himself into the championship. Usually runs pretty well at Phoenix too, and that's where we go in the next race. So even if he doesn't win today but gets a lot of points through the stages and a good race finish, maybe he can even point himself in if he has another great race. And another playoff driver is just taking the lead off of turn 4 as we got really loose. Look at that car just snap on us. Now we do have a little rear bumper damage from Harvick in the opening laps of this race, so that could be not helping us at all in that aspect. And we're going to clear Chase Elliott for 8th now off of turn 2. But Eric Jones led his first lap of the race on the last lap, and he's going to lead again at the line this time. Jones, another one of the playoff drivers below the cut line coming into today. The drivers that are above the cut line, Denny Hamlin, obviously after getting the win at Martinsville, he's in the championship 4 already, locked in no matter what happens to him here at Texas today and at Phoenix on Saturday. Kyle Busch plus 15. Brad Keselowski in 4th plus 12. And then obviously we're ahead. We got over a 1 race lead, so that's why we can clinch the regular season, or sorry, can clinch a championship spot. Highest position we have ran in the early going of the race is 6th, and then we just lost all those spots back to 10th, of course. We've gotten back around Harvick and Chase Elliott. Leaders are now approaching lap traffic for the first time here today. Cody Ware slowed us up big time off of turn 4. Had to get on the brakes before we ended up in the back of him. David Reagan not having a good start to this one either. We just got around him. Oh boy, big moment again off of turn 2. We haven't really been having those kind of moments off of turn 2, more so off of turn 4, but that could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being. $63 laps left yet, stage 1, still plenty of time. Obviously everybody's going to have to pit as well in this stage. Whether that would be under caution or under green, not sure. Caution is out though for the first time today on lap 23. Alright, so looked like most of us stayed out of the pits, at least at the front of the field. I think that was the smart thing to do there, because we would have been borderline on fuel to the end of the stage anyway. Could run about 58 to 62 laps, and we're going to go green right now with 59 laps to go, so it wasn't a guarantee that we could have made it on fuel. Kyle Busch leads the field to the green flag. And that caution might have helped us out, because we might be able to get to the lead a little quicker than what we may have before. Great restart despite restarting on the outside in the 8th spot. Now stuck up the middle here between Logano, Chase Elliott. Elliott's still to the inside of us. Barely going to clear him off of turn 4. Got a little loose in the process. Still was able to clear him and still staying to the inside of the 1 car of Kurt Busch. Bowman going to the top side now, trying a different line. Probably not the way to go, at least in turns 1 and 2 here at Texas. And now Eric Jones is going to clear him for the position. Tyler Reddick also to the inside of Bowman, and now Jones goes high, 3 wide. Almost sliding up into the 31. Unbelievable. Going to clear Reddick. Can't quite clear Alex Bowman though, and we're in 4th, sitting right behind him. Now looking to the inside of Bowman for 3rd into turn 1. Ooh, a little contact with the back of the 20th place car there of Eric Jones. He goes back to the top side, and we're up to second. Kyle Busch led the lap at the line, but to the outside we go. We're going to clear him into turn one. Ryan Blaney out in front. We're going to lead our first lap of the race at the line this time. Lap 31 at the line here at Texas. 55 to go in stage one. And you wonder, I didn't really check to see if anybody did pit at the rear of the field. I would have to imagine we probably had some guys hitting pit road. If they can make it on field to the end of the stage and save enough to the end, and we stay green to the end of the stage, maybe they've got a shot to get the stage points and win this opening stage. Not impossible. We do have one driver out of the race already on pit road. It looks like it's the 22 of Joey Logano. Nope, it's not Logano. Logano's still on the track, so Joey's in fifth, battling Chase Elliott for fourth. I'm not sure who that yellow car is off the top of my head. Maybe it's Michael McDowell. Eric Jones going for second now on Kyle Busch. Playoff drivers filling out the top three right now. Alex Bowman back into the top five again. They're leading in a couple laps in the beginning of the race. And he's not far behind Joey Logano, who has moved up to fourth. Just trying to lead laps and pull away at this point in the run. I do see somebody commented in the comment section, but for some reason I cannot get that comment up. So whoever it is, thanks for joining here this morning at Texas. Still 50 laps to go in this opening stage. A good solid run going for us right now. Again, that caution helped close the gap. We lost a lot of ground after we hit the wall off of turn 4 the one lap. Glad we're able to kind of run back into this lead once again. Number one Chase Elliott fan, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Currently have 7 people watching. Yep, thanks. Yep, just hit 150 subs last night during the Martinsville race. And I thank all of you for all of your support. A bit of a loose moment again there. We're going to alternate through the cameras here for a couple laps now. For the first time here today, as we're going to approach lap traffic here within the next few laps or so. You see, we got a little bit of damage on the right front of the car and a little bit on the right rear as well, because we kind of went right rear first into the wall off of turn 4 right about lap 15 or so, then slammed the right front into it as well. It was a softer blow because we didn't quite hit the wall at a higher speed. We got the car slowed down as much as we could, but there is a little bit of damage, of course. Thanks for that comment, number 1 Chase Elliott fan. Greatly appreciate it. Couldn't do it if I didn't have anybody watching the video. So again, thanks for everybody that loved to watch these full race live streams. And obviously, again, more content to come in the coming weeks on the channel outside of just NASCAR Heat 4, as actual NASCAR will be kicking back up again here in a couple weeks. So we'll get back to those pre-race prediction breakdown videos and post-race analysis videos as well, starting on the 17th at Darlington. So we're in the midst of lap traffic, of course, right now. These are definitely all drivers that did not hit pit road during the caution, just like us, and I think that's why we're catching them a little bit. Again, we did have some drivers, it seems like, at the rear of the field that did pit. Most of them were probably a lap down. We just have to keep an eye on it, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly 10 days from now, but May 17th will be the start date. Should say restart date. Wow, Denny Hamlin has lost so many spots from starting on the pole in this race, having a tough day, but it's a good thing he won at Martinsville last night, because he is currently 23rd in today's race. The only driver that, outside of Harvick and I, that had DNF'd, out of the drivers that did finish the race, Eric Jones did not have a great day and finished outside the top 20 and 22nd. It's good to see we're widening out a pretty big lead. We can run at the most 20 more laps before we have to hit pit road. For our first stop of the race, it's probably what we're going to be looking at doing. So we are just past halfway through the stage. Maybe try a little pit strategy and split the stage in half next time around, but for right now, this is what we're going to run here in this one. Lapped all the cars inside the top 20 now. Oh, barely kept it off of the 10, I believe. Now we're getting right back to these back marker cars that are one lap down, such as Joey Gase and David Reagan, just having a terrible run in the beginning of this one. Had some momentum brewing there in that Talladega race and even had a decent finish at Kansas too, but oh boy. Wasn't the easiest pass on Stenhouse that time, but we're going to get around him. Now to Chris Buescher. Caution's out. So caution's out at the line. this time. It's our second of the race, and now you're going to see everybody hit pit road this time, so that'll bunch the field back up again. We'll repair any damage we've got, 4 fresh tires, and we'll get on our way. So we're going to lose 3 spots on pit road after repairing that damage. That had to have been the only thing that really slowed that pit stop down. Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Kyle Busch will lead the field to the green with an all front row Joe Gibbs and an all second row of Penske Racing. Right on the back bumper of the 20. Oh boy. Going to side draft the 9 of Chase Elliott to our inside. And look at Bowman go to the outside. Now Kurt Busch going to follow as we get split right up the middle through turns 3 and 4. They're also 3 wide behind us. 33 laps to go in stage 1. Joey Logano's currently in the race lead. Three wide up ahead, Kurt Busch, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch. Still 3 wide off the exit of the corner, and now going into turn 3. Oh man, Eric just about got pinched, and Busch now goes up the middle as Chase Elliott was on the outside. And there's still 3 wide off the exit of 4. Though Eric Jones is now sitting behind him side by side with Bowman into turn 1. Look at that. Just all packed together right behind Logano, trying to stay in the lead car's draft with this 1.5 mile and bigger rules package. 550 horsepower, tapered spacers, lower downforce. Doing a great job holding on to 7th right now. We've seen us have battles with Harvick quite a bit on the restarts today. Now Daniel Suarez has moved into the top 10. He's in the picture, of course. He's coming off of a last place finish at Martinsville after he DNF'd in the early going as well. Eric Jones cycles back into the lead now ahead of Joey Logano, but now Jones goes to the top, Logano down to the bottom. And Joey might be able to pass him back. Nope, side by side still off of turn number 2 as Truex gets to our inside now for 7th. Almost washed up into the wall off of turn 4 there. That was a close one. Still 27 to go here in stage 1. Remember, it took us 31 laps to take the lead at the start of the race. We'll have to see how long it might take here this time. Since we don't make a huge mistake, it shouldn't take as long. Sydney Duncan, welcome. Truex got another good run off of turn 2. Trying to block him off into turn 3. Really pinching him down going into the corner. Barely able to hold on to 7th. I'm surprised we both stuck the corner for the most part there without really giving up much ground to Harvick behind us. Those awkward angles for both of us getting in with that late block down the back straightaway. Now trying to pull back away from Truex. Got a couple cars that didn't hit pit road at the rear of the field. Might have taken the wave around perhaps. Those are a couple drivers that are going to get caught right now. Eric Jones got around the first driver pretty easily. Still got another one up ahead. About a second ahead of the leaders. Looks like David Reagan will be the lap car. At least the first one. It looks like Brendan Gaughan might be the next lap car. Jones goes to the outside. Kyle Busch to follow. Logano caught him on the inside of the track off the exit of 4. That's going to slow down the leaders just enough to help us gain a little bit of ground. Jones and Busch stay to the outside through turns 1 and 2. Brendan Gaughan as we sweep by to the outside off the exit of the corner and up to 6th. Blaney gonna duke it out for a possible stage win. Cars definitely starting to come in. The more laps ran, it'll only get better and better. Down to the inside of Elliott for 4th, into turn 1. Kurt Busch rather, to the top side of the track. Kyle Busch going for the lead on Eric Jones. They're side by side down the back straightaway into 3 now. And we've got another little bit of a gap again before we hit lap traffic, so that's a battle for clean air up ahead for at least the next few laps. And they are still side by side for about the entirety of the last lap. Logano starting to close the gap slightly, as well as we are too, back in the 4th position. Down to the back bumper of the 22 to the inside at the line. Should be able to clear him before we get into turn 1, and we do. So Blaney back to 3rd again. Kyle Busch leads with Eric Jones directly behind him. Tough to tell, he's got the faster car between the two of them. They've battled quite a bit here in this one. Basically been ongoing since the start of the race. Caution is out again. With 21 laps to go in the opening stage, or sorry, a little less than that. My bad, but yeah, caution's out for the 3rd time now in stage 1. Austin Dillon will hit pit road from 16th. And Eric Almirola in 18th will get the free pass. Currently have 8 people watching. It looks like one of the lap cars towards the rear of the field is up in smoke, and that was the cause of caution number 3. Can't quite see exactly who it is. We are getting to the end of stage 1 here. We'll stay out of the pits, keep the track position. And we'll have to see how fast Austin Dillon will be on fresher tires back behind us. He's only got about 10 lap fresher tires, but still, that could be better for him, of course. Green flag back in the air, and here we go. Kyle Busch leads the field to the green again. 15 laps to go in stage number 1 as we try to get to the inside. Oh man, we got loose getting off into turn 1 as the car just drove straight to the inside of the track. Luckily, we got back on and stayed in ahead of Chase Elliott. Contact now at the 20. Trying to stay alongside of him into turn 3. Kyle Busch leads, driving it in deep. We're going to clear Eric Jones for second off of turn 4. Now trying to run down the race leader of Kyle Busch. 14 to go in stage number 1. Jones tried to get back to the inside of us. Couldn't. We pull the block off, and now a big run through 1 and 2. Looking to the bottom of the racetrack now on Kyle Busch. Side by side for the lead. Side draft down the back straightaway into 3. Blaney looking for his second lead of the race. He's got it off of turn number 4. Ryan Blaney out in front with 13 to go in stage 1 here at Texas. Eric Jones trying to get back at Kyle Busch for second as well, right behind us. Kyle runs a little bit off the white line. Jones is hooked to the white line, and he might be able to get under him off of turn 2, and he does. Side by side down the back stretch behind us for second, and if they battle too long, we're likely going to pull away even more, even though we still do have the faster car with this many laps on our tires to the end of the stage. I think we're mainly going to be looking at Austin Dillon to see if he can make it from the middle of the pack to the front within the final 15 laps of this restart. Looked like Jones was going to get there for second. He's still battling Kyle Busch. Will he be able to clear him this time? Not quite. They're still side by side. Bowman has closed the gap behind him now. Top 4 filled with playoff drivers that are not yet locked into the championship race. But it would be a heck of a start if we can win stage 1 here at Texas. Looking for redemption after the poor Martinsville finish last night. Jones still can't quite clear the 20. Now he looks like he almost pulled up in front of him. Couldn't quite clear him off of turn 2. They've been side by side for about 2 laps, and now Jones beats him into 3. And Eric Jones will take the position. Bowman running a little higher line, more like towards the middle through 3 and 4. 10 laps to go at the line now in stage 1. No sign of Austin Dillon, at least in the top 5 yet. His RCR teammate of Tyler Reddick, the rookie, is sitting in 5th. Reddick's had some good runs off and on throughout the course of the season, even into the playoffs despite not making it to the postseason. And caution is out again for the 4th time in the stage. And this time Landon Castle in 19th will get the free pass. So that's going to help Austin Dillon out. He was able to get to 6th before the caution. And that'll close the gap even more again. We'll have another restart at the end of the stage. So here we go. We'll have to keep an eye on Austin Dillon. He'll restart the 3rd row on the outside. He's still on about 10 lap fresher tires, 10 to 15 lap fresher tires on the rest of these leaders. The green flag back in the air again as we're even closer to the end of the stage now. Only 6 laps to go. Got a good restart. Going to pull up in front of the 18. Try to stall the outside line off as much as we can, especially with Austin Dillon still up there on the top. Dillon peeking to the outside of Alex Bowman off the exit of the corner. Can't get there. And Eric Jones not only moves up to 2nd, but Tyler Reddick, who restarted in 5th, is going for 3rd now on Kyle Busch into turn 3. Austin Dillon all the way to the top side of the track. He's got a run. Trying to make it 3 wide off the exit of 4. He is. He's going to have a lot of straightaway speed. 5 laps to go in stage 1. Can Austin Dillon get to the front and spoil our chances of winning this stage? Kevin Kasem, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Austin Dillon has moved his way into the top 4 right behind teammate Reddick. Dillon goes to the top side again. If he can get to 2nd, we'll have to see if he can run us down. 4 to go at the line here in stage 1. Austin Dillon up to 3rd. A non-playoff driver looking to win the opening stage of the race here at Texas. He's going to get to 2nd, but is he going to have enough time to get all the way to us by the time he can get around Eric Jones. Jones slid up in front of him off of turn 2. Dillon still working the outside lane. He'll probably have to move down to the bottom after he gets ahead of Eric Jones if he's going to want a shot to catch us even quicker. Three to go, almost a 2-second lead. Dillon still can't clear the 20. We're washing up the track off of turn 2, barely keeping it off the wall. So we give up a little bit more time. Car really started to slide out from under us from the center of the corner off that last time. And now at the line, we're going to have 2 to go in stage 1 with about a 1.5 second lead. And Austin Dillon has cleared Eric Jones for second off of turn 4. 3 more miles. Does he have enough time to catch us here in the stage? Now he moves down to the bottom as expected. But I think he's just a little too far behind. And he's going to run out of laps to try and catch us, because the white flag will be in the air in stage 1 this time by. Tires have kind of seemingly evened out between us and Austin Dillon as well, because he's still slightly losing ground on us into turn 3 this time. Green-white checkered flag will be in the air. Ryan Blaney will win stage 1 at Texas here this morning. And a strong start to this race to try and clinch a spot in the championship at Homestead, which will be placed on Sunday. So we're going to make sure we hit pit road. 4. A half tank of fuel will be enough to fill it up to the end. We'll take a look at those 2 drivers. Ty Dillon, by the way, will get the free pass at the end of the stage. Jamie McMurray and Corey LaJoy are currently the 2 drivers that are out of this race. Green flag in the air, here we go. Stage 2 underway. 82 laps left to decide the winner of this one, and then obviously we'll move on into the final stage as well. Eric Jones, a little bobble into turns 1 and 2 there. Kyle Busch quickly going to go from 3rd to 2nd on the restart. The inside line just so much better than the outside here at Texas, especially on the restarts with the flatter turns 1 and 2. But now Kyle Busch taking a peek to the outside. Reddick is going to get under him, though, in the process, as they're side by side for second behind us once again. And Tyler Reddick has moved up to second. Reddick, the rookie, looking for his first lead of the race today. Blocking him down to the inside of the track, driving it in deep, trying to keep him from getting under us. Here comes Kyle Busch on the top side now. Joey Logano in the mix, right behind the 2 of them, as well as Chase Elliott back in 5th on the outside lane. Busch trying to get to the outside. Off of turn 4, he's got to run. Kyle Busch to the lead at Texas. Reddick, Chase Elliott still kind of stuck behind us into turn 1. Tyler Reddick back to the inside. Oh, that's a tough one. Now we've lost the inside lane. And Daniel Suarez up into the top 3 for the first time today. Look at Bowman trying to get back around as we are just getting passed left and right off of this restart. Things are not going well for us. And now Eric Jones looking to the bottom, trying to block him off. Couldn't do it. It's going to break our momentum into turns 3 and 4. We had to get out of the gas a little bit more than usual. And now Chase Elliott is going to take a peek to the inside off of turn 4. All the way back to 8th off the restart as Kyle Busch tries to pull away with the race lead. Trying to get back around Chase Elliott. He keeps running the top side. We can get alongside of him in the middle of the corner, but we can't compete with him down the straightaways. He's just got too much of a run. Top side not as good in 1 and 2, so that's probably going to be our best shot to try to get alongside of him, side draft him down the backstretch, and keep him alongside like we did that time. Did a perfect job. Now trying to get him again into 3 and 4. I don't think we're going to, though. It'll be close. Nope, can't quite clear him again. Now we're going to get to the inside of Daniel Suarez into turns 1 and 2, as Suarez a little bit slower than both us and the 9 car behind us. He just had a really solid restart to get up into 3rd for a short time. And quickly fell outside the top 5. Now is back to 7th as we took a big slide on the entrance to turn 3. Chase Elliott's going to get by 2 drivers in 1 corner there as we slide back up the track off the exit as well. And we're about to give that spot we just gained on Suarez right back. Indeed, Suarez gets back around us, and now Truex is caught right back up to us again. Ooh. Contact with the 19 there down the front stretch. Tried to side draft him. We got up into him. Trying to keep it off of Suarez as well. Couldn't do it. A little contact slowing us both down, and Truex pulls right back up to the back bumper of Suarez. Trying to run the outside. Now he drove it in too deep into 3 and 4. Just kind of missing our line these last few corners. Truex passes us and now into the wall off of turn 4. Car snapped loose again. Overcorrected it slightly. And Austin Dillon going to try to take a peek now for 9th. Keselowski in the mix as well. Barely staying in front of him now off the exit of turn 2. We're going to get back around Austin Dillon quickly to get back into the 9th slot. Good chance we're going to split this stage in half, assuming we stay green to the halfway mark. Try a little bit different pit strategy in stage 2. So that means we'll pit right around lap 42. Actually a little earlier than that because there were 3 caution laps at the stage break, so... Probably looking at pitting right around lap 39. Would be about the halfway mark. 3 wide now, going into turn 3. Suarez just backs out of the gas, lets Truex and I go. And we're going to clear Truex off at turn 4 as well. Another slide up the racetrack, but we are still going to clear him. And now he gets to our back bumper. Probably didn't appreciate the slide job as much, and now Suarez is going to get underneath him just because of that contact we made off of turn 4. Truex closed the gap quickly, got to the back bumper. Oh boy. A little shaky there towards the end of the front stretch. Kyle Busch not far away from catching lap traffic here for the first time in stage 2. There's one lap car it looks like they passed. It looks like Brian Truex in the 71. Elliott kind of caught behind him, then we had to get out of the gas too. Let's keep from running over Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch has caught more lap cars, as you see on the track map ahead, just ahead of him. Looking to the outside now on Chase Elliott off of turn 2. As he holds and blocks the bottom, a little side draft now. Going into 3 and 4. Not sure how this is going to work. We haven't really ran the outside hardly at all today. We stuck it off of turns 3 and 4 though. Definitely don't like the outside in 1 and 2, but we're going to have to be stuck and try to work with it, at least for this lap. Barely going to clear Elliott off of turn 2. And that'll move us back up to 6th again. Currently about 4 seconds off the lead, still in the 6th position on the track. Just in front of us, it is Tyler Reddick in 4th and Joey Logano in 5th, about a 1.5 seconds ahead. Look at this big bunch of traffic here. Lap cars and lead lap cars all in the mix. Might be able to make some passes for position as we catch up to Joey Logano into turn 3. But now Ty Dillon pulls down right in front of us. Oh, sliding up into the 22. A little contact towards the exit of 4. We're able to keep control of our cars somehow, some way, as we keep on going. But Reddick now pulls away from the two of us again. Deep dive into turns 1 and 2, trying to get back to the inside of Penske Racing teammate Joey Logano. Now we're going to move ahead of him off of turn 4. A little loose again. That might get Joey back in the mix by the end of the front stretch. No, not quite. In fact, we're going to catch Reddick because he's caught behind Joey Gase. Up to 4th. Now we got 2 lap cars side by side off of turn 2, right in front of Eric Jones, who is in 2nd. Nowhere to go for Eric Jones in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Right to the back bumper before having to get up and get out of the gas. To the outside of Bowman. This is not where we want to be exactly. And we're trying to duck in line behind him, but they're just running so slow. Look at Reddick to the outside with a power move. Tyler Reddick, 3 wide. No, now he's blocked off by Tift. It almost worked for Reddick. We got back around him now, as well as Alex Bowman. And we're right behind the 2nd place driver of Eric Jones, about 3.5 seconds off the lead now. 1/2 second in about the last 5 laps or so. To the outside off of turn 4, and we're going to clear him into turn 1 for 2nd. About 15 laps or so away from green flag pit stops for us, at least, to split the stage in half. In stage number 2. Our next full race live stream is going to be later this evening, 5 o'clock Eastern. Bobble again. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as it'll be the next race on the toughest season in NASCAR video game history, as we will go to New Hampshire. 1 mile racetrack, of course, with no cautions on that season. It could be hectic. Never know. Only one way to find that out, and that is to tune in later today. Again, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this evening, as this is the first of 2 races on our doubleheader Thursday for you guys. Of course, the news yesterday, NASCAR Heat 5 coming out. Gold Edition July 7th, and then the Standard Edition on July 10th. I'll probably end up getting the Gold Edition, so that means we've got even less time than originally expected to try and get through. We'll obviously get through this Cup Series season by the end of the weekend, but still got the toughest season to get through for the Xfinity Truck Series. And I wanted to do another season with all those width stages to see if that was going to affect any sort of like racing outcome, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get through every series doing that before NASCAR Heat 5 comes out at a steady rate. We'll just have to see. Kyle Busch caught behind Daniel Hemrick. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time right now. Big slide off of turn 4, trying to stay to the inside of Hemrick, but we are within a half second of the race lead now at the line. 54 to go in stage 2. Lakita Ason, thanks for joining. Sorry if I mispronounced that name, but welcome to the live stream here today. Just past Kyle Busch off of turn 4 now. Get us back into the lead for the 3rd time today. In the middle portion of this race, the slide underneath Jimmy Johnson trying to pull away again. We're currently on lap 30 in stage 2, so it's about the same amount of length as what it took for us to get to the lead this stage as what it was back in stage 1. Stage 1 we even had a caution that kind of bunched the field back together again, but here in stage 2 we did not have that so far, at least. Thought Newman was going to pull the block off into turn 1, but not quite. Quickly about 2 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch. He really got held up with the last couple of lap cars that we had gotten around, Ryan Newman being one of them. But again, our green flag pit stop will be coming up in about 6 or 7 laps to split the stage in half. Here in stage 2 at Texas. 50 laps to go in the second stage currently. Top 4 filled with all playoff drivers again. Reddick and Bowman, though, battling for 4th quite a bit with each other, about 8.5 seconds off the lead. We got very heavy lap traffic coming up ahead. Ooh, big run. Not in a good spot either. Contact with Denny Hamlin off of turn number 4. Tried to get the car slowed up before we caught up to him. Had to move to the outside, so we missed him, and we still made contact with his right side. These drivers going a lap down. Landon Castle was the last driver on the lead lap because he had gotten the free pass at the stage break. He was in 19th as they go 3 wide behind us. Oh, really loose off of turn 4. Having to lock it down. Barely able to make the save and keep it out of the grass even. But we are going to lose a couple of those drivers that we put an extra lap down. for the moment, but it's better than wrecking the car as Kyle Busch is starting to close in again. Back to about 2 seconds off the lead as we battle in the lap traffic. Kyle's obviously going to have to get through all those cars as well. But again, we're also going to hit pit road here in a couple laps. Again, lap 39 we will pit. We're currently on lap 36 at the stripe that time, so we got about 3 or 4 more laps. Again, 2 drivers out of the race through stage 1. It was Jamie McMurray and Corey LaJoie, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was a heck of a save. I mean, we were trying not to overcorrect it that time, and we did a great job. Somehow kept it out of the grass, too. That was the last thing I wanted, was to lose even more traction going through the grass to try and save it, but kept the car straight. We stay green, and we're so close to getting to the pit stop and getting 4 fresh tires on this thing, repairing any sort of damage we've got. Which we have a little bit on the right side after making contact with, I believe it was Truex and Suarez for a little bit towards the beginning of the stage, so... You can see how loose this car is. Really don't want to tighten it up though, because it is fast. And I really don't want to knock any speed down off of it. We haven't wrecked at all today, up to this point. A pretty clean race for the most part. So we just hit lap 39 at the line, so we will pit this time by. And it'll be the first green flag pit stop of the day. And it will be our second pit stop total. About a 4.5 to 5 second lead on Kyle Busch. He'll come back in as the race leader once we pit this time, unless everybody decides to split the stage in half as well. I would have to assume they're going to take it to the end of the fuel run. So a little pit strategy off of turn 4 this time. 45 miles an hour is the speed limit, and we easily get down. We probably could have taken it a little faster there, but that's all right. So on to pit road. Looking at about a 16.7 second pit stop this time. Back out onto the racetrack we go. We're probably a lap down, but we're obviously going to have the fastest car on the track with 4 fresh tires. We were just fast enough at the end of the run to become the fastest driver. Now it'll be even better as we got to let all these guys get on by. We definitely weren't going to pull up on the track in front of all 5 of them. Still got some lap cars passing us to the outside, but once we get up to speed, we'll be fine. So we are currently the first driver 1 lap down, unless Landon Castle is a lap down as well, but I don't think he is. So if a caution came down, at least we would get the free pass. Ooh, a little contact with Bowman. He gets sideways. Bowman could not correct it into the side of his teammate. Caution is out, and we are not the first driver lap down. We will have to take the wave around. A little contact getting into turn 1 with Bowman. He slams into his teammate. 2 Hendrick Motorsport drivers collected in 1. Bowman, of course, being one of the playoff drivers. Couldn't tell from behind if he was going to save it from at least hitting the wall. What a tough break that was. So we have our first caution of stage 2 and our 4th caution of the race total here. But luckily, we can take the wave around because everybody on the lead lap is going to pit. Eric Almirola will get the free pass in 17th. He must have just went a lap down right before that caution had come out. Kyle Busch wasn't too far ahead of us. So at least we got the free pass, but here we go. The green flag is back in the air. "36 laps to go in stage 2, and we got to come from the rear of the field if we're going to want to win this stage. So this is going to be interesting. We only have about 2 lap older tires, so tire advantage really not going to be anything at all on this somewhat freshly repaved and reconfigured racetrack at Texas Motor Speedway. So should be good. Just a matter of who's going to win the stage now. We got a long ways to come from towards the back. So this will be interesting. Haven't had to do this at all today. Yeah, it was definitely our fault for getting into Bowman there. That was an accident caused by us. It was a complete accident. Unfortunately, he took out his teammate, but they are still both running after hitting pit road that time, so that's good to see, and they're both in the top 10 right now as well. So running order didn't shift much, so thankfully we didn't change an outcome there, especially with Bowman being a playoff driver. Trying to get a pole off the back bumper of Ryan Newman now in the draft so we can pull ahead of Hemrick before we get into turn 1. Easily able to do it, barely sneaking to the inside of Newman. Just about made contact on the entrance of the corner. Remember last time we did that with Bowman, he ended up crashing, so we got to be careful. Eric Jones swapping the lead with Kyle Busch up at the front of the field. Of course, they're trying to win the stage. Both playoff drivers looking for every point necessary, as well as the track position to start the final stage of the race as we go back to the top side now on Denny Hamlin into 1 and 2. Didn't give us a lot of room, kind of went up the track on the entrance to side draft us there and hold us back. Hamlin, one of the drivers that are 2 laps down on the track in 22nd as we tried to side draft him back down the back straightaway now into turns 3 and 4. Denny qualified on the pole, just not living up to that qualifying speed here today. Quickly fell back outside the top 20. He has been 2 laps down for a while. 31 to go. But again, Denny, even though he is one of the playoff drivers, he is locked into the championship again with that win at Martinsville last night. Barely going to clear Menard off of turn 2. Another car pass though. Still got quite a ways to go to catch up to the leaders. About 4.5 seconds off the lead, but a lot of lap cars in between us. And obviously they're going to have the faster car for about the first 15-20 laps of the run too, so we'll just have to see. If we stay green to the end of the stage, oh no, we're not. Somebody just hit the wall off of turn 2, went up in smoke. Looks like they blew a right front. Not sure exactly who it is. And it looks like it could be Alex Bowman again. Bowman in trouble, bringing out back-to-back cautions. What a tough break that would be. Huge playoff implications at Texas today for Alex Bowman. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again. Going to restart in 16th. At least this will bring us a little closer to the front of the field. It's about where we were before the caution came out anyway, but at least now we're all bunched together again. And unfortunately, I believe Alex Bowman is out of the race. Huge playoff implications for Bowman. Came in just below the cut line coming into this race. He is probably going to be in a must-win scenario when we go to Phoenix on Saturday. Taking a peek to the inside, 3 wide now through the corner. Kyle Busch has cycled into the lead again off the restart. This is probably going to help us out to win the stage, but back-to-back cautions here in stage 2. We've had 6 total on the day, 26 to go in the second stage as we near the end of it. And here comes Chris Buescher, maybe trying to fight back to the bottom as we clear Keselowski and Austin Dillon. And now pulling the block off. They're 3 wide behind us down the back straightaway into 3. Chris Buescher up to 11th. That's the highest he has ran all day today. Pretty good restart for him. 3 wide into turn 1 to the bottom now on Daniel Suarez and Kurt Busch. Can't quite clear either one of them. We're still 3 wide down the back straightaway. Kurt Busch is going to clear the 41 of Suarez. Now we're going to clear Suarez into 3 and 4. Oh, Harvick just clipped the grass through the front stretch there, trying to dive underneath the 19 of Truex. Luckily, he kept the car under control. Can't quite clear the 1 yet. Everybody bunched together. Harvick couldn't quite clear the 19 either. Another wash up. Had to get out of the gas there. Didn't want to end up in the side of the 1. That might allow Suarez to get back down to the bottom. Could not block him off that time. He had a huge head of steam. Into turn 1. Barely going to stay in front of him though. Back to the inside of Kurt Busch once again. So we cleared Truex. Chase Elliott right behind us as we're side by side now for 5th with Kevin Harvick. .21 to go in stage 2. Got Reddick and Logano not far in front of us. Deep dive into 1 and 2. Left side's kind of hit the white line down there as we get really loose. It can't quite stay to the inside of the 31. Reddick back to the top through 3 and 4. We might be able to clear him this time. And we will easily. Oh, at least it seemed like it until we got loose at the very last second. Reddick is still there. Almost making contact. I think we did. But now we're definitely going to clear him off of turn 2. Closing in on Logano. Looking back to the inside again. Just kind of diving into these corners a little too soon. Kyle Busch in the clean air. 2.5 seconds out ahead in the lead. He's got about a second advantage on second place Eric Jones. We all battle for the stage win. Almost made contact with Logano, trying to get away from him right now to keep him from side drafting us down the back straightaway, and we clear him into 3. Up to 3rd now is Ryan Blaney once again here today. So we try to get him a stage win just like in stage 1 in this race. Won both stages in the race at Martinsville last night before DNFing with just over 200 to go. And finishing back at 36th. Definitely closing in on the 2 leaders. We're going to get to the inside of Eric Jones off of turn 2 now for second. Tires are starting to grip up as we are starting to close in on the lead. Big side draft down the back straightaway. And another deep dive into 3 and 4 that we got to stick that time. Blaney up to second now, just over second behind Kyle Busch, the race leader. Wasted 0 time to get around Eric Jones. 15 to go in the stage. This could be interesting. And again, we will catch lap traffic by the end of the stage if we stay green. Third and final stage of the race is likely looking like it's going to be a 2-stop race to the finish. So it'll be a lot different compared to these first 2 stages where 1 stop is easily going to make it to the end of the stage. It's going to be 2 stops to the end of the race. Obviously, that's after everybody hits pit road at the stage break as well. So that's not including that pit stop, as somebody just clipped the grass up there again, much like Harvick did at the beginning of the run. We close the gap on Kyle Busch through turns 1 and 2. Our better corner. Looking now to the outside, off of turn 2, side by side, down the back straightaway for the stage 2 win. Bumper out in front, we're going to clear Kyle Busch into turn 3. Ryan Blaney out in front again at the stripe this time, as we will have 12 laps to go in stage 2. As we have just hit lap traffic, so a perfect time to catch Kyle Busch. Right before the lap cars. David Reagan going to get in Kyle Busch's way. That's going to slow him up quite a bit. We're going to pull away a little more off of turn 2. Not a bad start to this one whatsoever. Now we just got to hope we stay green to the end of the stage. And we should have this one all locked up. Again, when everybody's on 4 fresh tires, we do not have the short run speed in the car. It takes us roughly 20 to 30 laps before we can even get back to the lead. Almost half the run at times. We've seen at the beginning of the race and the beginning of the stage how it takes us 30 to 31 laps before we can get to the lead. Despite here in stage 2 we restarted in the lead. Goes to show how fast those 2 cars of Kyle Busch and Eric Jones are. They're definitely going to be the ones to beat here in this one. With them being playoff drivers, big implications. Bowman out of the race, of course, probably in a must-win scenario. Harvick's been in the back half of the top 10 today, but if he's way below the cut line going into Phoenix, he might have to win that race as well. Especially if Eric Jones, the driver who is below the cut line coming into this race, wins this one, because he has shown speed throughout. Already out to a 3-second lead. We are getting through the lap traffic pretty much better than anybody else has this entire race today, and that's also helped us pull away, as well as the speed on the longer run itself. 8 to go now in stage 2. Almost into the wall off of turn 2. Really had to get out of the gas. We can take care of our car from this point. Busch. Take care of it to the end of the stage. We'll get to another pit stop. Get 4 fresh tires back on the car again. About halfway through the fuel run. Six to go. Once we get the 3 laps to go in the stage, if a caution comes out, that's just going to end the stage. So that's really what we're looking at getting to before a possible caution, is getting to 3 laps left. So at this point, we'd only have a 2 to 3 lap dash to the finish. Five laps remain. Already out to a 5.5 second lead now. Jones trying to close the gap on Kyle Busch for second. So now we have 4 to go. So we just got to get back to the line this time and we'll be fine. We'll be able to pretty much win the stage. Three to go. Paul Menard, Denny Hamlin splitting right up the middle, 3 wide to get around him quickly. Oh boy. Stenhouse pulled down like he was going to pass the 24 of Byron. He pulled down right in front of us. We had to get on the brakes just to keep from running over him. Lap and a half to go in stage 2. Things will tighten back up again, of course, with everybody on fresh tires at the beginning of the next stage. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in stage 2 now. So it seems like in this race, as most races during the course of the year, that we have a better long run speed in the second half of the run. But if we get a caution, everybody pits, it's going to hurt us. If we get cautions over the course of the run and nobody pits, that helps us. Because we are faster on older tires when we're on equal old tires as everybody else. As you see off of turn 4 now, Ryan Blaney will win stage 2 at Texas. Great start to the race, much like Martinsville last night that ended in disaster. Hopefully we have good fortune here. We can get the win and lock ourselves into the championship race on Sunday. Kyle Busch second there, Eric Jones third. So take a look at the running order. Not too shabby. Waiting for the top 10 to cross the line, and now they have, so just going to make sure that we pit. 4 fresh tires, going to repair any damage we've got on the race car. And we won the race off of pit road, so that's good to see as well. Here we go this time. Green flag in the air. Third and final stage will be underway. Kyle Busch will restart in second with Eric Jones in third just behind. We've seen the inside line take off on the starts. 3 wide already. Oh, it looked like they were going to go 3 wide from about third or fourth on back, but they quickly thought that that might have been a bad idea as Reddick now looks to the outside. Kyle Busch loses at least 3 spots on the restart. Logano's just kind of tucked in behind him, nowhere to go. Joey now moves to the top side as we get really loose off of turn 4. Barely able to stay in front of the 20, and here comes Reddick back up towards the front again. as we lead the opening lap of stage 3. 160 to go in this race. Again, a 2 pit stop race to the finish from the start of this final stage. Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick, side by side for second still as we try to hold them off down the back straightaway. We led for a couple laps at the start of stage 2 before losing the lead and falling all the way back to 10th. Here comes Reddick, barely cleared him off of turn 4 and barely pulled the block off again at the line. Longer we can hold on to the lead, of course, the less ground we'll have to make up on the longer run. Eric Jones now will get the second all by himself, and Chase Elliott, in fact, up the middle. Look at Elliott go. He's trying to get to second place. Not sure if that's going to work by the time they get into 3 and 4 as he loses a little bit of ground again. Here he comes as they are still 3 wide for second off of turn number 4, and Tyler Reddick to the lead for the first time today, the rookie out in front at Texas. Can't quite clear us yet. We're still side by side now through turns 1 and 2. Almost 3 wide. 4 wide now. No, still 3 wide. For second, Kyle Busch on the outside. He's moving up to second. Now cuts down to the inside to get underneath Reddick into 3 and 4. What a battle for the lead to start the third and final stage of the race. And Chase Elliott gets to our inside now looking for fourth. Hopefully that doesn't freight train us, but I have a bad feeling it will. Can't quite get down in front of the one of Kurt Busch on the center of the corner. He's going to get under us now. And you got Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, 2 Penske Racing teammates now just behind us as we duck in line right behind Kurt Busch. Really loose off of turn 4. Caution is out. Back in the pack a little further. That is going to be our 7th caution of the race today. Doubt you're going to see anybody hit pit road. We really only ran about 5 laps. It looks like Eric Almirola is going to hit pit road, actually. Ricky Stenhouse in 18th will get the free pass, and he'll hit pit road also. But he's the, I guess, not a bad idea for Almirola to pit. Might as well. You're towards the rear of the lead lap. Even though it's only 6 lap fresher tires, you never know. It could be better than nothing. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again. 153 to go now in this race. Unfortunately, we were on the outside, and again, the outside doesn't take off. Keselowski actually got to the bottom behind teammate Joey Logano there. That could have helped him out. And we were able to actually block Keselowski off into turn 3. Joey Logano moving up on the restart. We got a really good restart ourselves now to the inside. 3 wide into turn 1. Eric Jones going to pull up with it. Still 3 wide, sliding up, barely keeping it off the 20. Now we made contact. He had to check up. He got pinched off between us and the 31. That's why we made contact. And Tyler Reddick now trying to go right up the middle. Off of turn 2, he has to back out of the gas. He loses a little momentum. We'll get under him. A great restart on our behalf here this time. Jones lost a lot of spots. Reddick lost a couple spots, but Kyle Busch still out in the lead as we're up to 3rd. Right in front of Kurt Busch now as they kind of stack up behind us. We just kind of followed our teammate Logano right on up through the field. It didn't take a long time to get down to the inside. Probably our best restart of the day so far. Still battling Logano for second, though. That's going to allow guys behind us to really make a run. You see Chase Elliott's moved up to 4th now. We've been side by side with Logano for a little bit, but now we slide up the track, and here comes Chase on the outside. Chase Elliott with a power move to get around us down the front stretch now and up to third himself. Cautions out again. 8th of the race. Cautions starting to breed cautions in the beginning of this one. Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Landon Castle all going to hit pit road. So is Clint Boyer and Stenhouse again. Jimmy Johnson will get the free pass in 18th, but he is 3 laps down. So he's going to go to from 3 laps down to 2 laps down. Pretty much you're only going to see at the most 17 drivers on the lead lap the rest of the day. There was a 4th car that DNF'd in this one. Not sure exactly who it is yet. Hopefully we find out soon. Probably should have checked under that caution. My bad. With the green flag back in the air, Kyle Busch leads us and we're on the outside again. Right behind our teammate Joey Logano though, but Logano kind of checking up on the outside. That's going to stack this outside up a little bit again. And Chase Elliott trying to move up to second. Not going to get to the inside nearly as easily as we did last time. Big side draft there on Kurt Busch. Trying to stay alongside of him down the front stretch. Into 1 and 2. Logano still kind of holding our line. Don't like running the top, but we're going to look there. Now we're trying to split Logano off of turn 2. What a move by us and Kurt Busch. This could get tight into turns 3 and 4. Barely going to clear Logano into the corner. Now right up the middle between the 4 and the 9. Loose up at turn 2. Contact now with the 1. More contact there as we were still trying to gather the car all the way down the front stretch. Kurt Busch keeps it on the inside of the track. Got out of the gas a little early, trying to gas it up late. We're going to clear Elliott for position. Big run up the middle again for second on Kurt Busch and Harvick. Into turn 3. A thrilling third stage to this point that has only been filled with short runs, but with 143 to go, this thing is ramping up quickly here. Late in the season. Now we try to close in on the race leader, Kyle Busch. About a half second ahead of us. Looks like Kyle Larson was the 4th driver to exit from this race today. He was running outside the top 10 most of the day, so not going to be a big factor as far as the race win is considered. So your 4 drivers out of the race are Corey LaJoie, Jamie McMurray, Alex Bowman, and then Kyle Larson, all in that order from 40th up to 37. Sorry, yeah, 37. Closing the gap on Kyle Busch. To the inside now for the lead into turns 1 and 2. Trying to get it to stick. Side by side for the lead. Still off of turn 2. Contact now. Busch trying to hold on in front of us. Still side by side. We got a little too tight. Couldn't stay to the inside as well as we wanted to with the contact, but we are there now. Busch leads at the line again. We've got the advantage into turn 1, but it's an awkward angle as he pinches us down. Not giving us a lot of room. That's how we slid up into him last time. This time, can we clear him? Yes, we do. Barely cleared him down the back straightaway. Blaney back out in front again. And the first time since leading the opening laps of stage number 3, we are going to get out into the lead. Andrew, welcome to the race here this morning. So we are actually closing in, at least here on the Eastern time zone, to our afternoon hours. So we have just taken the lead on Kyle Busch. Still 2 pit stops away from the finish, at least for most of us. And I'm sure everybody that did pit under the last couple cautions will still have to pit twice to the end. So that'll be interesting, as Stenhouse has now gotten his way up to third. He's one of the drivers on fresher tires, as well as Austin Dillon and Clinton Boyer. So it'll be interesting to see how they can work through this field. Boyer up to fourth now, passing Austin Dillon. He's probably the faster of those drivers that are on fresher tires. Martinsville, no, we did not run good at Martinsville. We actually DNF'd with our 3-strike rule. Just about 200 to go in the race or so. So we only got a little over an hour and a half in. And unfortunately, I finished 36th. We did win the first 2 stages of the race, so that helps us on points a little bit. But not a good finish, so we are looking for the win here today at Texas to perhaps lock ourselves into the championship 4 here today. Won the first 2 stages of this one so far. We've really been battling throughout the top 10 quite a bit here, back and forth. Kyle Busch has led a lot of laps, of course, and Keselowski up to third. One of the drivers on fresher tires. Trying to see if he can make a run. Denny Hamlin had gotten the win in last night's race, so Denny Hamlin is locked into the championship 4. So still 3 spots open here with the rest of this race today at Texas, and then of course Phoenix will be on Saturday. Even those guys have fresher tires, they're just no match for us. They are closing in slightly on Kyle Busch, though, as Eric Jones has climbed back into the top 5 into 5th. Really, the 3 fastest cars today have been us, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones, and we've really been swapping the lead quite a bit. Again, we're faster on the second half of the run. First half of the run, though, it's all Kyle Busch and Eric Jones, and they've been pretty even with each other. Busch has led the most laps between the 2 of them, but at the same time, they are pretty even with each other. Busch doesn't really pull away from Jones that much, if at all. And Eric Jones now up to 4th again, top 4, all full of playoff drivers. Keselowski did finish runner-up in the race last night as well. The next closest playoff driver was Kyle Busch, who finished in 4th. Playoff implications regarding last night as well as today. Kevin Harvick had DNF'd alongside of us, but we had a lot of playoff points, so we're still above the cut line coming into this race. Not as comfortable as we would have been if we would have won at Martinsville, but hopefully looking to win today at Texas. And then again, with Harvick DNFing, he's put himself in a tough spot on points. He did get stage points in each of the first 2 stages in this race today, but he finished outside the top 5 in both of them, so he's not quite at double digits on stage points today. Gonna need a solid finish, and it'll be interesting to look at that points gap going into Phoenix tomorrow, or sorry, again on Saturday. Oh boy. Almost got in the back of DiBenedetto. Caution is out again. It's the 3rd time already in this stage alone. And for the 9th time total on the day, still 129 to go. And we're going to pit along with most of the rest of these guys here. Take 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel, and we'll get on our way. It looks like the top 4 stayed out. Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Austin Dillon, and Landon Castle. The only drivers up towards the front that have not pit yet today, in this 3rd stage at least, is Kyle Busch in the 18. So we'll restart on the outside in 6. We'll hope for the best. 126 to go. Green flag back in the air again. We're still roughly 2 pit stops to the end of this race, though. But I figured we were going to get toasted with how many drivers pitting this time, being halfway through the run. So Kyle Busch probably not going to survive out towards the front much longer. We all battle back now. Looking to go in between the 2 and the 14. Now on the 20. So we try to get back up to speed at the line. Now to the outside of Austin Dillon. We're the first driver on fresh tires to make a move down for the lead. Now to the outside of Kyle Busch into 1 and 2. Eric Jones moves to the top. Right behind us, he's going to follow in. And Jones up to 2nd. Blaney to the lead down the backstretch. It's not an official lead change until we get back to the line. So we don't know exactly who is going to lead when we get there. And it looks like it's going to be us. Jones does have a run coming on the top side, though. Going to give him a lot of speed down the front stretch, but we do lead the lap at the line. 124 to go now as we try to block off Eric Jones as long as we can. Jones looking to the top side through 1 and 2 again. He is there, trying to slide up in front of him. Barely able to do it. That was a close call. Boyer, Elliott, 3rd and 4th on back. They're closing in after this battle for the lead continues. We have now had 5 drivers DNF in this race. Now we'll have to try and learn who the 5th driver was that brought out that 9th caution not that long ago. So we're about 3 or 4 laps into the restart. Chase Elliott up to 3rd, now working on the 20 of Eric Jones for 2nd. Jones ran the top side again. Here he comes into turns 3 and 4. Back to the top side. Elliott on the bottom. Jones going to get a run off of turn 4. Can't clear him. Here comes Elliott to the bottom. Contact with the top 3. Elliott into the wall. Hard. We're in the wall as well. Caution is going to fly again. 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4. Blaney got into the side of the 20. Jones was able to still keep his car straight, take off, and hold on to the lead. But a hard crash for Elliott into the outside wall. We made contact with him as well. That is our first wreck here in this one for ourselves today. Just could not hold the middle line off of 4 with everybody coming in quick. Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Castle all going to hit pit road. Johnson going to get back on the lead lap with the free pass with all the cautions we have been getting in the stage. Remember, he was 3 laps down to start this final stage. Here we go again. Green flag back in the air. Oh, Almirola spun his tires on the restart. So did Harvick just up ahead of us as well. Yeah, not a good restart on our behalf. But we kind of made contact with the back of Logano because Harvick spun his tires a couple rows ahead of us. That definitely didn't help. And Eric Jones now holds on to the lead at Texas Motor Speedway. Still a 2 pit stop race to the end for us. It's going to be borderline for the other 4 drivers that had pit at the end of this race. But man, we have gotten so many cautions. 4 cautions in the first 50 laps of this final stage. We have not had a long run in the final stage yet, so I'd have to imagine the cautions aren't done. Up to double digits, 10 of them now in this one. Three wide now. Stenhouse, Logano just up in front. Kyle Busch has a fast car. He is on a rail. Coming with fresher tires. And obviously he's arguably got one of the faster cars in the field as well. You stay to the outside of Stenhouse, it'll brush off the wall, it's going to slow us down. Still alongside the 17. Trying to get a pole off of Harvick. Down to the inside, going to clear the 17 of Stenhouse, and now 3 wide into turn 3, driving it in deep, now on Boyer for 7th as well. We're going to clear Boyer. Here comes Logano, contact. Couldn't pull down in front of him. And Logano will take the 7th spot. Trying to get back under him, just couldn't do it that time. We'll alternate through the cameras once again when we get to the start-finish line this time. Kyle Busch has quickly gotten up to the race lead after restarting just a little bit further behind us off that last restart. Pretty amazing. PS4 Sports Network, welcome. Look at the damage. Oh wow, down on the flat getting into 3. That definitely didn't help us. Chase Elliott has a ton of damage to his race car still. Remember, that was after the wreck we were involved in. I'm very surprised he did not pit. He is still running out there. Not only he's still running out here, he is battling for 3rd with this 4-car group now of us, Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch, and Elliott barely going to clear him now down the back straightaway. Can't quite clear the 1 yet. Looking to the outside now, Chase Elliott. Big run coming. He couldn't block us off there. Trying to side draft off of him. Look at that pole in the middle of the corner. Kyle Busch still about 3.5 seconds ahead of us, but all things considered, that's all right. So we try to close the gap now for 2nd on Eric Jones. Gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't help you as far as custom setups go. It's just a matter of just trying to learn every single track on the game. More repetition, the better you'll be. And I think that's why with the full-length races that I do all the time, part of why I typically run a lot of better races more than bad in this game. Eric Jones kind of blocking us on the inside. A little bump there. All that did was shoot Eric Jones out further ahead of us. Still about 3.5 seconds off the lead. Jones trying to hold on for second. He's going to make us try to pass him on the outside, much like we had to do with Chase Elliott. Now taking it to the inside. A little bit more of a run down the back straightaway on Eric Jones for second place. Blaney's there, up to second. Jones going to try to fight right back. I don't think he's got the car at this point in the run. Kyle Busch about to catch lap traffic very, very soon. Almost at the 2-hour mark here in this one. For a 500-mile race with 10 cautions so far, this thing has just flown by. Closing in on about 100 laps to go here in this one. We are catching Kyle Busch through the lap traffic. Surely enough, still a few lap cars in between us, but we are just less than a second and a half off the race lead. $100 to go now here at Texas. Ooh, Busch has a couple lap cars in between him. He's got to go up the middle. Way to split the lap traffic for Kyle Busch in between Matt Tifft and Brendan Gaughan there. We had to take it 3 wide as well, but we went down to the bottom. Busch going to fly past Ty Dillon. Now he's caught a little bit behind Bubba Wallace, costing him slightly a little bit more time. Now to the inside of the 18 for the lead. Not going to clear him off of turn 4 there. Kyle Busch going to battle as long as he can. Trying to pull up in front of him. Now we make the block into turn 1. And just like that, Ryan Blaney is out in front. Yeah, PS4 Network, I don't use custom setups, so I couldn't tell you exactly how to get the car to go fast. I guess it's just getting in a rhythm. Most of the short tracks I have the car as tight as it'll go. Usually the cars are better on the longer run. On this game, if you can obviously have good control of your car and save your tire grip as much as possible. So it's really about taking care of the car, especially if you're running a longer race. Yeah, I mean, not real else to say as far as that. I do use, like, obviously I adjust the setup with like the little ticker it has on the upper right corner that you see before you enter into a race. Most mile and a half, so I go with the balance setup right in the middle. And then, like I said, yeah, short tracks, they usually have it all the way down, as well as road courses too. Got a little bit more on the tighter side just to keep more car control. Super speedways, I have it in the middle too, but it doesn't really matter too much there. Yeah, it's pretty much about all I can tell you. I don't really have much. It's just repetition of hitting your lines, hitting the right marks on the track, finding out what tracks have faster groove. Here at Texas, we've been running the bottom most of the day. It's definitely the fastest way around here. Some tracks, it's the top side. Especially on some mile and a halves like Kansas and Vegas. Some tracks, it's pretty even from top to bottom for the most part. And a 4-second lead on Kyle Busch. Eric Jones in third right now. 12.5 seconds off the lead. This is the longest green flag run we have had in this stage. We're just about 30 laps in to this green flag run. Landon Castle, Eric Almirola, 3 wide to the top, a little brush off the wall, getting into 1. Had to get around him as quick as we could. We did barely get into the wall, didn't cost us too much time. Again, we are still quite a ways ahead of Kyle Busch. We got a faster car at this point in the run. We're going to take the run down all the way to the end if we can. And to make 1 green flag stop so far today. We got 90 laps to go. It's going to be close on whether or not we can make it on 1 or 2 stops to the end of this race. Oh, into the wall again. There's actually a good chance we're probably going to come down to pit road somewhat soon, just to get fresh tires on the car, because I don't think we're going to be able to make it a 1-stop race to the finish from here. Man, it's going to be close. It is going to be very close. That last caution came out at a weird spot. I think some guys can make it that did pit there, but we obviously didn't pit. I just don't think we've got enough to make it to the end, so we might as well short pit this first stop. insane if we go the final 122 laps of this race caution free after having 10 cautions leading up to that point. Still got a long ways to go, of course. I still don't think that's going to happen, but we've seen races this year that had a lot of cautions in the first half of the race, and then second half of the race it just mellows out as we get really loose again off of turn 4. Somehow Brendan Gaughan didn't hit us. He missed us to the inside. Another great save. That's really the second time we've had a moment like that today. Both times off of turn 4. Might as well get fresh tires on it soon as well instead of running it out the last 22 laps or so. So we're going to commit ourselves to making this a 2-stop race to the finish. Some guys might be able to make it on 1. I have a good feeling Kyle Busch is probably going to make it on 1 because he was one of the 4 drivers that had pit under the last caution. Landon Castle, Jimmy Johnson, and I believe Eric Almirola were the other drivers. If not Almirola, it was Boyer. And now into the wall again, and that is going to bring out another wreck. Caution is out. That's the second time today. We could not save it there. And really, that was the first wreck all by ourselves all day today. Daniel Suarez will get the free pass in 10th. An unfortunate set of circumstances there. And we can't pit for fuel or tires and take an advantage because we were the ones that brought out that caution. That would just be unfair for everybody else. That is a big moment in the race we didn't need to have happen. Unbelievable. Still got to restart the lead, but on older tires. Suarez got the free pass in 10th. But now for sure everybody has to pit one more time to the end of this race still. 80 to go. We're going to try to hold on for dear life to the outside to block Kyle Busch on the initial restart. So 80 laps left to decide the winner at Texas here today. That was a tough break to get involved in that accident. Gonna try to hold on as long as we can, of course. Jones in second, looking for the lead. Kyle Busch lost a few spots on the restart from second. He's battling back with Logano for 5th. Eric Jones going to move to the top side of the track. Here comes Tyler Reddick up the middle. Couldn't block the 20. He's into the wall as we get into the side of him. And here comes Kurt Busch on the bottom of the track now. Logano slams into our door. Up the hill we go. We might as well bring it on to pit road here because we're losing a lot of time. Problem is we're stuck on the outside and we can't quite get down there yet. 77 to go. We'll be wasting way too much time if we just try to make it to the pit window. We're going to let Boyer go. We're going to get to the inside. Austin Dillon, of course, trying to look under us as well, but we got to make sure we hit pit road this time. An unfortunate set of circumstances here in this. Oh, wow. Buescher almost ran into the back of us. So we tried to duck it onto pit road. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. So unfortunate to get in a wreck at that point in the race. We did not need that to happen. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why we got into Bowman there, but Oh man, that's probably going to cost us a little bit of time too on pit road. A little bit of a game glitch there. 15.4 second stop though, not bad all in all. Actually, that's our fastest pit stop of the race today. Eric Jones will cycle now as the race, well, he's still the race leader. He had it after the first lap or so off the restart. So we climb back up onto the racetrack. We're in 17th, and we are the first driver one lap down, the only driver one lap down. So if the caution came out, that would actually benefit us. We'd get the free pass. So ideally, that's probably what we're going to be having to hope for. Everybody else, including us, still one pit stop to the end. We're going to take this run as long as we can to the finish now. That is going to be our goal. We got to take this run all the way to its maximum. So we can get our lap back and then hope for a quick caution, of course, at that point in time. This would be one heck of a come from behind win if we can get the job done. Got to be careful too. If we wreck again, this race is done. I don't know how we ended up not being able to make the save off of 4. We've had a lot more difficult saves today throughout the course of this race, but turn 4 is definitely our kryptonite if we had to pick one spot on the track. We get a little loose off turn 2 at times, but for the most part, turns 3 and 4, I think it's because there's more banking there. Just a lot worse for us. Or no, yeah, that's right. We're not the first driver lap down. I completely forgot. So Jimmy Johnson would have been last driver on the lead lap before we had put all those guys a lap down, before we brought out the last caution, which was the 11th caution that we've had so far in the race today. So there are currently 10 drivers on the lead lap, so the 11th place driver would be the first driver a lap down, whoever that might be. I just got to thinking about that, so it would actually not be an advantage at all if we were to get a caution. We'd have to take the wave around again. $70 to go. We've dug ourselves into a hole we did not need here in this race, looking for the win to advance into the championship race at Texas. It was looking all right, really, until the start of this third stage, because this final stage of the race has been a lot harder on us than before in the first 2 stages. Again, we got a lot of stage points. We should still be above the cut line without a win here today, and by quite a bit. But still creates an unknown at Phoenix. This has not been our best round by far so far, as we are now into the 3rd round of the playoffs. So our goal here is to try and get to 11th as quick as we can before a possible caution. Eric Jones came into this race below the cut line. The door is now opened up for him more than ever before to try and get the win and advance to the championship 4 alongside his teammate, Denny Hamlin. 3 Joe Gibbs drivers remain in the round of 8 of Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Kyle Busch. This might be Jones's best shot to get into the championship because you never know what could happen at Phoenix. We've got to be thankful for all those wins that we have had over the course of the season, getting so many playoff points, just in case we ever had a scenario like this and around in the playoffs, which we are having here. Well, contact with Hemrick. Hemrick is going to go around. That's a caution we didn't need. If the caution flies, he slides through the grass, and there it is. Caution is out. And another weird spot. And we did not need that at all. We're going to stay out and try to get a little more track position here. Austin Dillon will get the free pass now in 10th. Looks like the top 3 are going to stay out. This is going to split the field because they're going to be right on the border of making it on field at the end of this race or not. It is going to be very close for those drivers at pit. And the race is turned on its side once more after a 12th caution in this one as we got loose off of 4, got into the side of Hemrick. Another accident, unfortunately, that we had caused that brought somebody else involved in this one. Luckily, it looked like Hemrick didn't have any damage when he slid through the grass. He didn't come back out onto the track, so that's good. Kyle Busch leads. We try to get our lap back, currently in 11th. First driver, 1 lap down. You can bet we're going to be battling hard. Kurt Busch trying to get around us as we pull the block off down the back straightaway. Chase Elliott leads. Was caught up in a wreck with us and Bowman earlier in the race. Bowman's out of the race. We're currently a lap down, but Chase Elliott leads at Texas. What a wild race he has had to be leading this late in the race now with only 59 to go. What was looking like a strong race for us. It's not our best race by any means, but it'd be a good race one if we can come back and just lock ourselves into the championship. Chris Buescher is the next driver behind us right now, but we have to battle for the free pass position. He's about 2.5 seconds back in 12th. All these cars passing us right now are all on the lead lap. Harvick's going to get on by. Ideally, if we can unlap ourselves before a possible caution would come out, then we could restart up towards the front of the field with these guys again. If we get the free pass, we'll have to restart at the rear of the field. Might be a fuel mileage race for those guys that did stay out though. Or sorry, for those guys that did pit under that caution. This race has just been turned on its side here today. Well, I guess it's that time to alternate through the cameras one final time in today's race. We'll get back to the start-finish line this time. Got a long hill to climb with not many laps to go if we're going to want a shot to win it. Main focus, though, too, if we can't get the win, is to just finish this race. We're pulling away from Buescher, so that's good to see. It's good to see that we're likely going to get the free pass if we do get another caution. That would put 11 drivers back on the lead lap again. Yeah, I think just snap loose again off of turn 4. Keeping the foot in the throttle, though, and trying to gain as much time as possible. We're slowly but surely running Harvick back down right in front of us. Harvick currently the highest running playoff driver in 4th right now as well, with Keselowski in 5th just behind him. Out of the inside of the 4 car of Harvick. Not going to clear him by any means off of turn 2. Still side by side. Now we're going to clear him into turn 3. He's a little loose. Driving it hard again, though. We got to take care of the car. 50 laps to go at Texas. Reddick is closing in on Chase Elliott as well for the lead up there. Does Tyler Reddick have what it takes to win his first career race? Very interesting. These guys are running hard, of course, but at the same time, with it being a fuel mileage race to the finish, it's very interesting. We know we've got to pit. Everybody that didn't pit under the last caution also has to pit. We went green with 61 laps left. You could run about 62 laps on a full tank at the most. Now, obviously, those two leaders battling hard. Reddick has closed the gap on Chase Elliott. Elliott, who won at Richmond earlier this year, that's his only win of the season. That's what helped him get into the playoffs. Reddick looking for the lead now. Elliott, of course, got to the round of 12, but was eliminated last round in the playoffs. So we clear Kurt Busch off of turn 4. Reddick, Elliott still side by side for the lead up there. If they battle like that, we might be able to get our lap back sooner rather than later. .46 to go. Leader's about to catch lap traffic as well. Tyler Reddick, who currently has the lead. Elliott now to the bottom through 3 and 4. Chase Elliott trying to take the lead back again. Elliott caught right behind one of the lap cars. No, sorry, that's still Reddick. He's battling with Reddick. Almost got in the side of Hamlin off the exit of the corner. Chase Elliott clipped the grass as well. Now Elliott goes to the top side through 1 and 2. Probably going to lose a little bit of ground now to the back of Reddick as they battle hard for the lead up ahead. They're quite a ways now ahead of third place Kurt Busch. Very heavy lap traffic up ahead. Yeah, we're probably going to catch these leaders very quick. We're right there with Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick had gotten through a couple extra lap cars. He's back to the top side of the track. Elliott trying to go up the middle between, wow, Byron and David Reagan. What a move by Chase Elliott. He definitely got that to work. We're going to go to the outside, 3 wide, very tight, almost into the wall. Barely squeezing in between the wall and the 24 with the 95 that was on the inside of the 24 of Byron. Big run off of turn 2 now to the inside, trying to get our lap back. As well, we're going to get around Austin Dillon likely for position. Up to 10th, back into the top 10 and back into the lead lap for now, but here comes Chase Elliott. Joey Gase holding us off big time. Elliott trying to put us a lap down again. Tires have seemingly evened out with us leaders as well. Us and the leaders. Elliott looking back to the inside. We block him off. We need to hold on. He has gotten back around Reddick, but Reddick not far behind him again. Still battling in the lap traffic. Elliott trying to get around us as well. That could be holding him up a little bit. Back to the normal camera for the rest of this race. 39 laps to go for the leaders behind us that are going to be close to making it to the end on fuel. We've got about 28 more laps before we would have to pit. We're going to try to stretch it out as long as we can. And there's a good chance we're going to make some sort of a pit strategy kind of pit stop. Now Bubba Wallace kind of in our way. All the way to the top again. 3 wide through the quad oval. There's a possibility we take 2 right side tires only when we pit. I don't think we can take fuel only and afford those tires to make it to the end, but there's a good chance we're going to. Oh, we got trouble on the inside of the track into the back of Ty Dillon rather. Eric Almirola slow, and now Austin Dillon got loose in the middle of the corner again. Luckily, we don't have heavy damage to the back of Ty Dillon. I thought we hit him harder than what it appeared to. I don't know why the caution didn't come out for Almirola being slow up in smoke on the inside of the track. Elliott still holds on to the lead, but Reddick closes the gap again behind. Oh my goodness, into the wall again. We didn't need that. Oh, and that brings out the caution. Man, I don't know. We saw that in another race this year. I want to say it was Martinsville last night. Something similar to that happened. Barely hit the wall and a caution came out. Well, that kind of helps us, but... It's the 12th caution of the race. We're not going to pit because of that. Up to 7, top 3, or sorry, bottom 3 of pit. Good restart. Got 3 guys on fresher tires back behind us. Now all these leaders can at least make it on fuel. I still don't think everybody has pit yet. What a move to the inside. Now for the lead on Chase Elliott. But how long is this going to last? Oh, contact with Elliott. Kyle Busch now looking to the outside, at least for middle, now falls back through the middle. Eric Jones just behind us looking for the lead off of turn 2 as we block him off. Also trying to get around Chase Elliott. We're going to clear Elliott off of turn 4 for the race lead at the line. Eric Jones though slightly behind us. .31 to go. And now Eric Jones for the lead. He's got it. Kyle Busch. Stuck in second right behind us as well. Logano also on fresher tires. Logano up to 4th. Oh, Busch makes contact with us. And Logano gets on by. We're back to 4th. Eric Jones trying to get the win here in Texas. And we did not pit under that last caution. We had caused the yellow, but I wasn't going to count that as our 3rd wreck because we really didn't hit the wall that hard. We have hit the wall way harder today that it didn't bring out a caution, so I don't know why the caution came out there. We're still about 7 or 8 laps short on fuel to the end of this race. Hopefully we can get another caution. They had 12 of them today. Our season high is 14. That came at Talladega a couple races ago. Now again, we can still advance to the championship 4 on points at the end of this race. We needed 57 to lock it up. We won the first 2 stages. Obviously, we'd have to win because if we finish second, we would get 56. But that is without having to deal with how anybody else finished. Very good chance that either Kyle Busch or Eric Jones are going to win this race. That'll be a 2nd spot locked up no matter what. We had a lot of playoff points, obviously, so even though that Martinsville finish hurt, we can still lock ourselves in with a solid finish here today with winning those first 2 stages earlier in the race. There might only be 1 more spot open to get into the championship 4 going into Phoenix on Saturday. Way ahead of Chase Elliott, but starting to drift further and further behind Logano, who's ahead of us in 3rd and 4th all by herself right now. 25 laps to go at Texas. Top 3 will catch lap traffic for sure here pretty soon. We do have 6 drivers that are out of this race. Jones still leading, but I'm sure Kyle Busch is running him down. Now that they're both in lap traffic. Kurt Busch has moved up to 5th now. Tyler Reddick in 6th. Reddick has had a great day today. Just over 2.5 hours into this race. Again, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time later today, we will run our second of 2 races on this doubleheader Thursday with these full race live streams. It'll be at New Hampshire, and it will be the next race in the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. Not really digging into the lead. It's kind of evening out a little bit. We're about 6 seconds back still. Our right front's actually really worn out, down to 19%. 21 to go. We're hoping for another caution ideally, and obviously it's got to be one we don't cause, but we'll see. If we do have to pit under green, we're going to make it as fast as possible by taking right sides only. We're still probably going to go a lap down. But again, we'll hope for the best. 20 to go now. It's been a fight just to get up to 4th at this point in the race. Not let a lot of laps here in this final stage. But we're hoping just for at least one more caution, and hopefully before we have to pit. But if everybody else pits, it's still no guarantee that we're going to get all the way to the lead. Still about 6 seconds off the lead. Jones is about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch. And we are closing in on Logano. He's only about 2.5 seconds ahead of us now. Honestly, with knowing that Bowman and Harvick are so far behind, that also helps us too, with Harvick DNFing last race and Bowman getting a DNF here in this one. Now only about 1 second behind Logano and 2 seconds off of 2nd place Kyle Busch. Yeah, you know, PlayStation Network, this will be 2 races in a row too, because we DNF'd in the race last night as well at Martinsville and finished 36th. We're praying that a caution comes out before we have to hit pit road, because everybody else obviously can make it on field to the end. But hopefully we got enough points that we can lock ourselves in after this race still. Should be way ahead of the cut line. And if we do that, that will leave only one spot open into Phoenix on Saturday for a spot at the championship in Miami on Sunday. Got about close to 5 more laps to run here, hoping for a caution. Logano in 3rd, not far ahead of us. In reality, Kyle Busch not that far ahead of us in 2nd place as well. 14 to go. Now for 3rd on Joey Logano into turn 3. 13 to go. Again, trying to take this run as far as we can, hoping for a yellow. Eric Jones is just pulling away from Kyle Busch in the late going. Back-to-back races, we won both stages in the race and probably won't win. Things are not looking good for us, but you got to have hope. Stay out at least one more lap, maybe two. $11 to go. Again, when we pit, it's going to be a two-tire stop only. So hopefully we could try to stay on the lead lap, but there's no guarantees that we will. We'll try to stay out one more lap here. It's going to be risking it, but we're hoping for a caution before we hit pit road. 10 to go. To the inside now on Kyle Busch for second. We'll get around him. Bummer to come all the way back up to second place, but we'll likely have to pit. Still hoping for a caution. Caution can come out when we're on pit road as long as it comes out. Well, we got to check up big time here. That's all right. We got to pit anyway. Got to make sure we don't speed. 45 miles an hour is the speed limit. 2 right side tires only. We'll repair damage. And a half can of fuel will be enough to get us to the end. She's hoping that we could stay on the lead lap at this point. It's our third green flag stop of the race today. And it will be our last. Yeah, Bowman's gonna... Yep, that game glitch again. Oh my goodness. This is... Look at how slow we're going now. This is terrible. This is the second time we've had this glitch today with Bowman. 12.8 second stop. It could have been a lot quicker. Yeah, we're going to be a lap down for sure now. Easily a lap down. Nowhere near the first driver a lap down either. Back to 11th. I don't even know what that was, but yeah, we're close to the end. Now we got 2 fresher right sides. Again, the leaders can make it to the end. We could somehow get back on the lead lap, but I don't see that happening before the end of the race. We can get into the free pass position. We know Keselowski's a lap down for sure. Suarez might be as well in 9th, but I don't even think we're going to catch either of those two. Maybe Keselowski, but that's it. We'll have 5 laps to go at the line this time for your leaders, Eric Jones and Kyle Busch, running first and second on the track. Both of them in the playoffs. A win would grant themselves a lock-in spot to the championship on Sunday. Jones is in heavy lap traffic as well as Busch right now. It's definitely interesting. Be the second race in a row we wouldn't finish on the lead lap too, barring a miracle. Let's get back on the lead lap. No, we probably will catch Keselowski. Suarez is a lap down too, though. Landon Castle with a solid run in 14th for Starcom Racing. had a couple of good runs as of late, especially for that team. He's looking on 13th right now for Stenhouse as well. Can't quite get to the inside of him there. We still might get a top 10 finish. We should be able to catch Keselowski. See him running the top through 1 and 2. It's not going to help him either. Way faster with 2 fresher right sides. Two laps to go though for Eric Jones and Kyle Busch. Not going to get the caution soon enough, at least for our sake here. Despite having 12 of them today, that probably hurt us in the grand scheme of things. We're going to pass Keselowski off at turn 2. At least we're going to get a top 10 finish. That's another point. I don't think we're going to catch Suarez for 9th. I believe Harvick's a lap down also. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Eric Jones. Trying to be not only the second driver to clinch a spot into the championship race, but the second Joe Gibbs driver, along with Denny Hamlin, who's already there. He's got another Joe Gibbs Racing teammate of Kyle Busch just behind him. Busch has less than a half a lap to catch him through 3 and 4 for the final time. And off of turn 4, Eric Jones is going to win at Texas, and Eric Jones is going to advance himself into the championship. Kyle Busch in 2nd. Logano would have finished 3rd. We're going to bring it home in 10th. 1 lap down. Salvaging a top 10 finish today, winning both stages. Here in this one, 2 hours, 41 minutes total time on the race today. Again, Jones with the win by a little less than 5. Logano 3rd, Chase Elliott 4th, Tyler Reddick finishes in the top 5 and 5th. Austin Dillon, pretty good run, 2 and 6th. 6 drivers finished on the lead lap total in this race today. Kurt Busch 7th, Harvick 8th, and Daniel Suarez 9th. Again, we rounded out the top 10. Playoff drivers that did not run well, Hamlin, but again, he is already in the championship after winning at Martinsville. Alex Bowman DNF'd earlier in the race as well. One of the playoff drivers. Truex and Almirola were already eliminated, I believe. Could be wrong on that. I think Truex is in this race. It's been a while. It's been a long race. Take a look at the point standings. Oh yeah, we're well. Yeah, thank goodness we got 4 stage wins in the last 2 races, despite not winning. So we're going to be locked in. Truex after that tough finish. So Truex and Bowman were 2 drivers that DNF'd in this race, and of course Harvick DNF'd in the last race. So they are way below the cut line. Looks like Kyle Busch, last driver above the cut line here, 30 points. So 3 drivers locked in. After this race, Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney are in the championship. Kyle Busch, 30 points above the cut line. Comfortable, but you never know going into Phoenix. 1 spot open. Obviously, if one of those 4 drivers below the cut line win, they will be advanced into the championship. Chase Elliott had the fastest lap of the... Oh, okay, that's not accurate. That's a glitch. 23.4. You can only run in the 29s at fastest. I don't know what that came from. Kyle Busch led the most laps here. 112 laps led in this one of the 334. Bowman had the toughest break in this one as well. Started 8th, DNF'd. And that is going to be it. Again, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll go to New Hampshire later today. This is a pretty crazy race for the most part. Chris Buescher started at the rear and last, finished 12th. Good run for him. But yeah, that's going to be it. Hope to see you guys later today. If you enjoyed, hit the like button down below. For more daily NASCAR content with such as videos like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Hope to see you guys later today. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you next time.